guys, I'm here at one of my listings today, and I had this sudden inspiration to stop and talk to you about what's going on next year and what our experts are telling us and what we're thinking is going to happen in first quarter 2025. So let's dig in. We have always said that we don't have a crystal ball. We can't tell you what's definitely going to happen, but we can look at history and we can listen to the experts that we know and compile a pretty good educated guess. So as far as what we have looked at, this is where my head's at. Anytime there's an election year, no matter what side you're on, regardless of what side, right? This is just in general election day speaking. So when we have an election, sales always slow down right before the election. There's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of mistrust, distrust of the government, and it's very much a let's just wait and see what happens. Every single time we've had an election, that's been the case. And I've talked with agents that have been in the business double and triple the amount of time I've been in, which is a really long time. And they've said the same thing. So when that happens and then the election takes place, we usually see a very slow kind of creep back up into more peak buying, if you will. We go into the holidays right after election, so that's naturally a slow time. Is that a bad time to sell your house? Absolutely not, and I'll tell you why. It is slower. However, the most serious buyers are the ones out in the holidays. They have other things they would rather be doing. So if they're out house shopping, that's pretty important that they need to get a home before the next year starts or for whatever reason. So you can count on those buyers as being go-to buyers. However, if you don't want to sell until the spring, that's understandable as well. Right now, at the end of fourth quarter 2024, we are noticing that we're getting a huge win for buyers. And that has to do with houses that have been sitting on the market a little while. And sellers are getting a little antsy. And yet, with the election and everything slowing down, they haven't gotten the number of showings that they've wanted. They haven't gotten the feedback they want. They've been dropping prices like crazy. Investors that own houses are dropping prices like crazy to try to offload before the end of the year. That is a good thing for buyers because even with a higher interest rate, you could come in and request closing costs to help you do a buy down on your rate. You could also come in and ask for more repairs. You can usually get some closing costs ahead of time. You can even get some money off the price. There's a lot of wins going on right now. We just wrote an offer and on a house, $100,000 under asking price. So the house was listed at $1,175,000. Our client came in with a $1,075,000 offer. And the seller was like, how about if we do 1,125? So we advised our client to sit on it. Let's just sit tight, see what happens. We went and looked at other houses. We let them know we were looking, not to be mean, but this is what we were doing. We were trying to find them the right fit. 2 days later, I get a phone call from the agent. My seller wants to accept their offer. So $100,000 difference isn't always going to happen, but for the right buyer and seller mix, it can. It definitely can. So when we're talking about buyer market, seller market, it is still technically a seller market. Inventory is very low, and buyers are in need of houses. At the same time, buyers are getting a lot of wins right now because of the circumstances around the holiday, the slower season, and the election that just happened. So what does that mean for 2024? I'm still expecting that we're going to have a huge ramp up of especially first-time home buyers that are looking to get into their first house. They haven't had any experience with lower rates before, so for them, they don't know any different. So they're going to come in and they're still going to purchase. They're going to be very focused on their payment instead of the price of the house. So here's my payment that I want to be comfortable with. Let's stick within that. I think that's a super fantastic and smart way to purchase a home, especially as a first timer. So we're going to see that surge come back. It always happens at the beginning of the year. I also think that people that have been on the fence are trying to figure out what they're going to do. We'll see an uptick in the stock market. We'll see a little bit of relief on that side. And so for that reason, they're going to start looking at, okay, so it's not as financially volatile as it felt. this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and start looking for a home. I do not believe that we will see a lot of second home buyers for a period of time still. I think that's gonna be more like second quarter, third quarter, that we see those coming back or doing so in a big way. I think people are gonna still be moving because they have to move for work. They want to retire, they need to downsize, their children have moved away, they need a bigger home, right? They're having children or getting married or things like that are happening. So I do anticipate that that's going to be blossoming in spring. I think that this current buyer situation that we're having, where buyers are getting more closing costs, rate buy downs, things like that, I think that's gonna slowly dwindle until like February, March of next year. And we're gonna see that really start going away because there's gonna be more competition out there. Buyers are gonna be back out in hordes trying to get homes. And then we're back to that anxiety of low inventory. So that's kind of my anticipation of the beginning of 2025. I do think that eventually we're gonna see rates kind of come down. I don't know that it'll be first quarter. I'm not a mortgage lender, so I don't follow that as closely, but I would expect that we're gonna see some of that happening, which in turn will encourage more people to come out and buy. So what about sellers? The big thing for sellers right now, and especially going into this market, if you're listing tomorrow or if you're listing in 2 or 3 months, my expectation is your house needs to be perfect. You need to list your house in a way that it looks like your photos. You know how you see a house online and the pictures don't look anything like the house when you get there? You need to emulate those photos and magazines and perfection. Buyers are walking in going, ugh, there's nail pops. Oh, I have to paint. Oh, this. Oh, that. Oh, it's dirty. Oh, right. We're getting a lot of nitpicky buyers right now because they think they can be because houses are sitting for a long time. Now, that's a mixture of reasons on why, but my expectation is if you put your house on the market anytime between now and March or April, you really need to have a deep clean done. You definitely need to make sure that you've recaulked things that look messy, you've gone neutral with your paint, all of your light bulbs are the same color. I recommend daylight versus soft white because it brightens your space. You need to dust your blinds, you need to do your baseboards, you need to make sure things smell good, you need to have carpets cleaned or replaced. The days of we'll give you a credit for the carpet are over. It's not happening. Like, oh, I'll just give them a credit for that. People don't want to do it. I don't want to have to move into a house and deal with that. And if a buyer's coming in and nitpicking the fact that they've got to paint a living room wall because it's got some, marks on it or what, they're definitely not going to want to change flooring out. So I would suggest that you get really honest with your real estate agent. Hopefully it's us. If you're in the Charlotte, Lake Norman, Greater Market, please call us. We're happy to help you list. We're the #1 relocation team in the area. So we also have people coming in looking for homes. We may be able to match you with a buyer prior to even hitting the market. Totally beside the point, but it's very important to know. If you're not in our area, if you call me, I can hook you up with an agent that's going to be very honest with what you need to do to get your house really sold. You need honesty right now. You don't need somebody to just come in and go, it's lovely. And then it sits on the market for 60 days and all of the feedback says that the carpet smells. You don't need that. That's such a waste of your time and money. It's doing you absolutely no favors. So have that honest conversation or give us a call. We will help walk you through that or give you someone who will. We can refer all over the country, even in Canada. Like, we've got the most amazing forward-thinking agents. They're kind, they work hard. We will hook you up. So that's a little bit of my forecast for buyers and sellers going into first quarter of next year. I do think we're gonna see a busy spring market. Our spring market starts typically middle of February-ish, like Valentine's Day. Soon as it starts warming up, they're ready to buy a house. So get your house ready. Get your house ready early. Spring for us is not April. Spring, that's summer. Spring for us is February and March. Give us a call. We're happy to help you with anything that you need.